Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Joint Land Use Board meeting for Wednesday, July 1st. Notice of this meeting, where's my note? Notice of this meeting has been posted and given to the official newspapers. Please familiarize yourself with the fire exits to the right and the rear of the council chambers. There's no smoking in Town Hall. Please do not proceed beyond the front benches without an invitation to do so, and please silence your cell phones. If we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shall we roll call, please?
John Kavas. Ralph Capaccio.
Here.
Michael Hosick. James Matro. Michael Messina. Mickey Palia.
Here.
Ray Scipione.
Here.
Ed Willerman.
Here.
Chris Kalani. Philip Barbagallo.
Here.
Jesse Childs.
Here.
Chairman Oliva.
Here. Mr. Matro just walked in.
That's, yeah. And James Matro.
Here.
Could I have approval of the meeting minutes for May 6, 2026, please?
So moved.
Scipione.
Second.
Mr. Capaccio, any questions on the meeting minutes? Could we have a roll call, please?
Ralph Capaccio.
Yes.
James Matro.
Yes.
Mickey Palia.
Yes.
Ray Scipione.
Yes.
Ed Willerman.
Yes.
Philip Barbagallo.
Yes.
Jesse Childs.
Yes.
Chairman Oliva.
Yes, motion carried. First item on the agenda is Frank and Sherry Croco, if I said that correctly, 537 Old Forks Road, Block 1802, Lot 13. Applicant seeks an approval for a curb and sidewalk waiver. Mr. Sassano, come forward, please. And if you're going to have anybody testify, they can get sworn in.
In case there's any questions, you might as well. Yes. Question. I do.
Thank you.
Here, Francesca say I do.
All right, we're good now.
That's the point. You can't say no. It's kind of hard,
Okay, my name's James Sassano, owner of James Sassano Associates. I'm a professional land surveyor and a professional planner in the state of New Jersey. I've testified before this board a number of times, and I'm here to present the application for this curb and sidewalk waiver for Frank and Sherry. The property is lot 13, block 1802 on Old Forks Road. It's a new dwelling that was recently constructed. The applicants would like to request a curb and sidewalk waiver, mainly due in part to old trees that are in front of the property that they would like to preserve. When we took this project on, they made it very clear to our firm they wanted to make sure no grading, no installation of the underground roof collection system or the dwelling would result in the removal or disturbance of any trees or disturb any of the root systems on the trees. They were very adamant about saving the trees out there. Some of them, I was told by the owner, are over 100 years old. It would be going through a couple of the trees, at least 2 or 3, or very close to the root systems as the sidewalk comes across his property. What makes it more challenging also is, and this just recently happened, the electric company installed a new utility pole to service the dwelling, and they put it right in the path of where the sidewalk would be. Adding to this, and we do appreciate and respect, adding a curb and sidewalk network through the town, especially near a school. just as you reach the end of this property, the property next door has wetlands and wetland buffers associated with it. I don't know what would be involved, but any sidewalk going any further than this property would have to go through a wetlands buffer. And then beyond that, you have the Oak Grove Cemetery, which then leads out to the White Horse Pike. No sidewalks along the White Horse Pike. However, on the other side of the road, you do have sidewalks across the high school that lead all the way out to the White Horse Pike. If you look at the color plot that I left everybody here with the 537 Old Forks Road at the top, taking into account the appreciation for having sidewalks especially to get to a school, it would seem that reaching the school for pedestrians would be better accomplished if there's a new dwelling that just got built, and it's labeled as existing new on this color exhibit. Next to it is a proposed dwelling. There's a MJ Paparone sign out in front, which they'll be, I assume, building a new home there in the near future. That existing new dwelling did put curb and sidewalk in. And I would think that the new proposed dwelling will also have curb and sidewalk. That would seem to me to help satisfy access to the school by having a crossover across Old Forks Road at that intersection of Walnut Street, as opposed to if you ever were able to continue a sidewalk along the northerly side of Old Forks Road, you'd have to first, you have 3 existing properties that have no sidewalk at all, and they're occupied with dwellings. One is a farm road that heavy equipment crosses over for the farming operations. But even if you were able to get through the wetlands buffer, past those properties and up to the Road of Excellence, that would not be a logical place to have any type of crosswalk or crossover, because if you've ever been to the high school in the morning or in the afternoon, I drop off and pick up my grandkids every day. It is the busiest intersection I've ever seen of traffic nonstop going through there. And the peak pedestrian time would be when school starts and school lets out. It wouldn't even make sense, in my opinion, to have any kind of crossover there to get to the school. It would make more sense to come off of Walnut Street down there. So we did look at this and take into account we don't want to cut off any future access for a sidewalk network up to the school. However, given the wetlands buffer, the old trees, 100 years plus, the utility pole that's now in the center of the sidewalk, we are requesting this, this waiver. Also, I wanted to point out, the property lies, the house itself is in the rural residential zone, the RR zone. The rear of the property is an AP zone, agricultural production. It is my understanding, and I may be wrong about this, but I know there have been some applications in the past, and there was discussions that the curb and sidewalk requirements are being reconsidered in the RR zone. I know that's been a topic of conversation in some other waiver discussions. So with that, we would like that taken into consideration also, if in fact they are considering new requirements for curb and sidewalk in the RR zone.
Any additional questions? Now, I know I took a ride out there today, and
All right, we're here for a very quick special meeting to award a
I'm
project.
just looking where you would, the sidewalk on that side of the road and where it would go. So, I mean, and to say what you're saying, I'm just looking at it myself. You think about the southerly side of it, the sidewalk ends before it gets to the school. I mean, there's a home there, and then there's the area where they put that ground-mounted solar panels. But
You're not quite there, but you're almost there on the southerly side of the road.
Right.
And it makes sense on that side, because then that sidewalk continues all the way out to the White Horse Pike.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's no sidewalk along the pike, but it at least gets you to the school.
Yeah, and then the only sidewalk goes from the Road of Excellence out to the pike on the
Yes.
school side.
In front of the solar area, I think that's part of one of the phases of Safe Routes to School that we've been working on since, what, like 2018, I guess, or something like that. But I know that I've had meetings with on the school side with,
I believe that was GPI. Were they involved with this one?
where they, yeah,
Yeah. Because I think,
Foster was one. guy.
yeah, if I may,
Mr. Foster.
Chairman, they have an overall schematic of where sidewalks should be, like an overall master plan for sidewalks. And across this property, that blank section where it doesn't have sidewalk, I believe that's also included in that overall
that's
master plan for
Okay.
So
sidewalks.
once you get past the solar field lot there, what you were just discussing, there's really only one little piece to close the connection, and it's across that one existing dwelling.
We're doing that too.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
then you have your,
Yeah.
and like I said,
Well,
I
that's in the
don't,
plan, if it ever happens.
I see that happening before the 3 properties on the northerly
Oh,
side.
yeah, makes no sense on the other,
Yeah.
in my opinion, makes no sense on the other side. But
All right, Stuart, do you have anything to add?
I have nothing to add on this.
James, go ahead.
Just a few things. So the property is a split between an AP and an RR zone. The house is going to be
It's in the RR.
RR zone. RR zone technically is in your sidewalk area number 3, as per your ordinance. But as for the arguments that was raised here tonight, there are more than a few trees on the way, plus that extra utility pole that you mentioned. So it would be a shame removing those trees if you would put a curb and sidewalk on that side. And due to the fact that the property across would, in the future, would have sidewalks, I believe I think that's fine, just waiving the sidewalk for this property.
Okay. Any questions? Any additional questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
If we decide not to put curb and sidewalk right next to our high school, how can we ever tell anyone else in the town that they can not get a waiver? That's a concern.
Anybody want to respond? Now, the only thing that I'm looking at is, I don't know if you had driven out there. or not.
I have passed it many times.
Yeah,
My
Yeah.
grandparents are buried right there.
okay, so you know that. The question is, and I understand your concern, the question is if if they have to put the curb and sidewalk there and take down the trees, and whatever they're gonna do, or go around the telephone pole, or that they place there, or the electric pole, where's it connecting to, and if it's gonna go into the wetlands? I mean, I guess that's, we're talking about from an engineering point.
Correct. You'd be disturbing wetlands. You'd be in that buffer zone for wetlands.
You also gotta remember, on that side of the street, I don't think there's any sidewalk at all.
I don't think so.
There is up the road a bit.
By
the one new construction.
The new homes, they
Just
just
put it
built.
themselves, but
Yeah.
I don't, they didn't come here. But, I mean, that's my 2 cents, on that side of Old Forks Road is typically like farming, and there's a lot of wetlands in there, and, you know, there's really not a lot of houses that are gonna walk to the school. And if they are, they're gonna cross over to where there is sidewalks and walk, you know, down the sidewalks.
Remember, that's the far edge of the town.
Yes,
Right behind this property is Winslow.
Yeah.
So it's a little, even coming up Third Street, you're not really getting traffic going to the school from that side. It's the
Correct.
other side of the road that you'll come around and end up going to the school if you walk it from Third Street.
And as I said, we did try to take into account access to the school. And I just don't see a good crosswalk at the Road of Excellence as opposed to Walnut, which anybody using that side of the road would cross over there, as opposed to, if you were able to get through the wetlands buffer, and I don't know if you could. Pinelands were pretty adamant to us about that, but if you could, it would not be the best place to cross over to the high school because of the traffic.
And what, to me, would make the most sense if there was a way to continue the sidewalk that's out to Walnut Street and continue that to the Road Excellence, where you were talking, Mr. Porter.
yeah.
I mean, that would make the most sense in that chunk there.
That's in the plans, but.
It looks like it's, like
It's
you
in-
said,
it's
when
in
it will
Safe
happen,
Routes to
but
School with the other firm, but it seems to be
In the plans.
going nice and slow.
It's been in plans.
Just so everybody knows, if in fact the town decides to connect all these dots, they were provided specific authorization to pay for their sidewalk if that's done. So it's not like they're going to get away with it. If the town eventually connects all these things, they'll have to pay to put the curb and sidewalk in that area.
And that's what we've done in the past,
That happens, yeah, that's part of our.
part of the application.
Would that include the utility pole?
That would be up to the electric company, I think.
Well, it's already there.
Yeah, well, it certainly wouldn't necessarily be the property owner's responsibility.
What is the accuracy of your lot lines that are depicted on this aerial photo? It's not really a survey, is it?
No, this is just an exhibit, it's not a survey, no.
Because it looks like the pavement is shifted into one extreme end of the
I'm sorry, say that again?
It looks like the pavement is aligned on the one side of the right-of-way.
Well, I don't have the right-of-way line drawn on the southerly side. I only have a,
You have a red line on, I'm assuming that's.
yeah, I have like a phantom right-of-way line drawn on the northerly right-of-way line.
I'm curious about the pole. I mean, where does the telephone company or the electric company get their, they have to be within the right-of-way, correct?
Yeah,
James?
the pole is in the right-of-way, and I just discovered that pole yesterday. Yeah, you'll notice it's not even on our original plan that was submitted with the application. They put it on, they installed that pole since this application was made through today. But it's in the right-of-way, but it does fall in the path of where the sidewalk would go. They put it in about 8 feet off the edge of the pavement.
Do they ever coordinate with the town or anybody when they do that? I mean, all of a sudden now they've got an obstruction in the middle of where the sidewalk should be.
They do what they want to do.
To be honest with you, I did not get a notification from them.
Just a question.
Everywhere, not just Hammonton. They do what they want to do when they want to do it.
All utility companies,
Yeah.
not just the electric company.
Any additional questions? Bill? Any additional questions?
No.
Okay. Anyone from the public wishing to be heard on this application? Seeing none, Mr. Solicitor.
Yes, Chairman, I'll need a motion to approve the curb and sidewalk waiver for 537 Old Forks Road, Block 1802, Lot 13, with the understanding, per statute, that the applicant must agree to give an irrevocable authorization to the town if, in fact, the town were to install curb and sidewalk at a later date.
Motion.
Second.
Do you understand that? Can you just quickly, yeah, okay, okay.
If they connect all the sidewalks.
we have a certain amount of money in that road for now.
It's in every application.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor and seconded. Any questions on that? We have a roll call, please.
Ralph Capaccio,
Yes.
James Matro,
Yes.
Mickey Pollia,
Yes.
Ray Shabione,
Yes.
Ed Willerman,
Yes.
Philip Barbagallo,
No.
Jesse Childs,
Yes.
Chairman Oliva.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a nice 4th holiday.
You as well.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda we have is Tractor Supply, 70 Trenton Road, Block 4602, Lot 9. Applicant seeks to install a freestanding open-air canopy structure with signage, lighting, pet storage, pet animal and feed storage, et cetera, if the applicant can come, you're already forward.
How you guys doing there today?
Very well, thank you.
Terrific. My name is Matthew Posada. I'm from the law firm Sills, Cummis & Gross. and I represent Tractor Supplies. Exactly what you said is exactly what we're looking to come in here and do. We're looking to amend the site plan itself to propose a couple new improvements while also cleaning up the site. And what I mean by that is right now, if you've been to other Tractor Supplies, regardless if it's in New Jersey, California, Connecticut, doesn't make a difference, they're going through a nationwide essential upgrade for all their facilities, because essentially they haven't paid much attention to the retrofitting and being consistent with the new modern asks over the past several years. So with that being said, for this site, what they're looking to do is exactly what you had mentioned. They're looking to do an addition for storage, specifically for live feed and pet feed. That storage itself would only be used for employees. They're not looking to expand the actual customer experience, but rather clean up the interior of the site where only the employees themselves could access the storage. They're also looking to propose propane use sales, because that's what they're looking to do for all their facilities at a nationwide level. And then they're looking to do a couple other cleanup items regarding parking for online pickups, also to provide veteran parking. And that's really about it that they're looking to do here at this subject site. Again, when you think of this proposal that we're looking to get approved, think of it as cleaning up and retrofitting to meet the 2026 needs. Tonight, I'll have two witnesses. I will have my civil engineer, who will also be qualified as a civil engineer as well as a planner. And then I'll also have our design expert, who will discuss in further details the signage that we're proposing here, which essentially is wayfinding signs and thanking for the customer experiences. In the event that you have any questions that are actually operational, we do have our project, I should say the site manager that's here in the audience, Paige. She's been with the company for 13 years, so if she doesn't know the answer, I have no idea who I could call.
Okay.
All right? So do you want to swear in the witnesses first?
Yeah, if you could, please let them come forward and we can swear the witnesses in.
Josh, yep.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm that the testimony about you is true, nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do.
Thank you.
All right, terrific. So Trevor, why don't you do us a favor and just walk us through your credentials?
Sure.
If you could, if you don't mind stepping over closer to the microphone, please. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. My name is Trevor Taylor. I'm a principal with CME Associates, which is now Artheon. I'm a professional engineer in the state of New Jersey, as well as a professional planner. I have a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from Lehigh University. I've not presented to this board, but I have presented to numerous boards throughout the state of New Jersey. I also sit on 2 boards up in Monmouth County as a professional engineer and a professional planner.
Is your license still in good standing?
It is, yes.
For both planning and civil engineering?
Yes.
Is accepted
As both?
yes.
Terrific.
Okay.
Trevor, are you familiar with the proposed plans?
I am, yes.
Terrific. Just walk us through what we're looking to do here tonight.
Sure. Is this a good spot for the exhibit? Thank you. So I have here a colored rendering of the site. It is sheet 4 of 6 from our site plan. It's entitled Minor Site Plan for Block 4602, Lot 9. And essentially, as Mr. Posada indicated, we are looking to add an addition to the principal building. It's 2,160 square feet. Currently, there are 2 temporary tents in the rear of the building, which will be removed if the board does approve the application tonight. The new addition is proposed to handle feed, which they currently sell feed out of the building. So this is going to store the feed outside of the building. Vehicles will come in. There is an existing driveway here that is not very utilized right now. There's a fence across it. Part of the application is to remove the existing fence, which is along the planned south side of the outdoor storage area, put in a new motorized rolling gate, which is 20 feet wide, and put in a new man gate, which is 8 feet wide. So the customers can come in, they'll park outside in the parking lot, go into the store, indicate that they want to purchase feed. An employee of the store will come out, open the gate, and pull in, and an employee from the store will load a truck or a vehicle with the feed right from the addition, so the customer does not have to go back inside to the store. It just makes it easier with the bulk material that they have, that they're selling from the store, to have it in this addition rather than have a customer have to come inside the building, bring it outside the building, put it in their car. This is kind of like a one-stop shop that we're going to pull up, pull right into the addition, get the material into your truck and pull out the back of the parking area. Also, as part of this is a propane tank. The propane tank is going to be located inside the gate. With a propane tank, it's the same setup where a customer will come in, park in the parking lot, go inside the store, make the purchase, and a employee will meet the customer outside behind the gate. And the way this is set up, it's not like your typical drop-off, pick-up. The customer will bring their own tank. They give it to the store employee. The employee will then fill the tank and give it back to the customer. They put it in their car, and same process, they'll pull away through the back of the parking lot, around the building, and back out to the building exit. You can see on the plan there is a location for underground utilities, which would be installed from the propane tank to inside of the building. And we also have they're existing parking spaces, but they're going to be striped for customers that come in to pick up online orders. They want to park there. They can park in those spaces. They get their supplies from the store, and they can pull away instead of having to park somewhere else in the lot. Those spaces are reserved for pickup online orders from people that have obviously already ordered the material. As far as the site circulation, we're not touching the main parking lot. Everything is behind the existing fence within the outside storage area. There's no change in parking spaces. When the previous applicant was here and Tractor Supply was here back in 2016, they did obtain a variance for parking. I believe the number was 70 parking spaces where 111 is required. That variance was previously granted. There's going to be no change in the number of parking spaces, so the site will function exactly as it functions today. And as far as the feed, again, the feed is already sold at the store, so it's not like they're introducing a new product that's going to be sold at the store. It's basically the same operation as exists today. As far as the propane tank, there are obviously permits that need to be obtained from the building department as well as the DCA to install the propane tank. The employees will also have training on how to use the propane tank so that there's no question about when a customer comes in to buy the propane, what they need to do to dispense the propane to give it back to the customer. And obviously when they submit for permits, the building department and fire marshal will review the permits to make sure that they have everything that they need prior to installation of the tank. There's going to be an emergency shutoff valve on the inside of the building. There's a safety release valve. There's also an overflow prevention device to prevent, obviously, additional propane from exiting the tank. That's not going to be dispensed by the employee, by the employee. And again, the employees will have a lot of training to go over this process well in advance of a propane tank being installed on the property. Lastly, with the existing driveway, there is an existing 12-foot wide driveway there currently. It's going to be restriped. There's going to be one-way traffic markings put on there so that when customers do pull in, obviously they know where they're going when they get to the site. It's also, the architect's going to talk about some signage that's proposed on the gate, again, to further direct customers to where they need to go to pick up either the feed or the propane. Just a couple of operation or a site questions. We're not touching the existing landscaping. There is some landscaping around the site. There's obviously no landscaping within the area that we're proposing the building addition or the propane tank. It is 100% impervious where that's proposed, so there's no stormwater management requirements. Again, we're not changing the parking or circulation or access to the site. And as far as refuse, there's no additional refuse anticipated due to the new building addition. It's going to operate exactly how it operates today. That's all I had for direct. I'd be happy to answer any questions on the engineering side of it.
I just have a couple of quick questions for you regarding the propane sales. Is it fair and accurate to say that if the propane installment and regulations is heavily oversaw by the DCA?
It is, yes. So the DCA will oversee the permitting of it. They also will do inspection once it's completed to make sure that it was installed in accordance with all the DCA and building department requirements. And then DCA also will come out after it's installed to do inspection of the scales for weighing the propane tanks. So just like the gas station, they have to get their licensing every year to make sure that it's in compliance with the DCA rules.
So it's state required for the DCA to both A, review the proposed plans, and then B, do a site inspection.
That is correct, yes.
Great, and then just for clarifications, because I know there's been 2 professional reports issued by this municipality, the original application included both live goods and then it also included canopy. We are not proceeding forward with either or, correct?
That's correct. That was removed because the original engineers and planners report indicated that would be a use variance, so we did remove that from the application.
Terrific. I have no further questions for this witness.
Any questions for him yet?
When you get to the end of the one-way street, how do you get out to the Trenton Road again? And it looks like you end up near the stormwater basin.
So when you pull through, so coming from the main parking lot, which is on plan south of the building, you'll go through the proposed 20-foot gate. You'll come up, there's another gate on the backside of the enclosed area. The customers will exit there, they make a left, they will traverse around the rear drive aisle of the parking lot, make another left, and come out to the ingress-egress for Trenton Road, State Highway 206, which is located on plan west of the property.
Okay, there's no change to the to that rear. I assume that's a driveway back there behind the building.
That is currently a driveway, correct?
And okay, there's no change that would affect the stormwater basin.
Correct.
To jump on his question, have you been out to the site?
I have, yes.
Have you, oh, so you haven't seen what's behind there, right? What's behind that building?
I did drive behind the building, and there is, I know there's a truck.
There's an old trailer there, and, I mean, it's a mess, okay? So, to jump on what he's saying, I mean, what are we doing to, like, clean that up to make it so people could pull around that building? I presume you're gonna fix up that parking lot?
So I
Or
think
get
what
rid of
we'll,
all the junk that's back there and that old trailer that's back there that I assume is being used for storage? Don't take it the wrong way, but it kind of looks really not so good back there.
yes, I believe that trailer is actually utilized to sell hay. I think they do store hay in there, but I think what, the applicant will be willing to do is look at the original site plan approval and make sure that wherever it was designated for outdoor storage, that they comply with that and remove anything that should not be currently installed in either a drive aisle or a parking space. So I think the applicant would be able to make that a condition of approval.
And just to add to that real quick, I'm fortunate enough to handle all the traffic supplies land use entitlements throughout the state of New Jersey, and that is the same question that I hear at every single one of my land use hearings. So I can assure you that it is nothing out of left field that we have heard, and we understand that what we need to do is clean up the site, make sure it's consistent with the approved plans, and anything short of that would be issue violations. So we do intend on cleaning the site for site circulation and safety purposes.
So, and if we're looking at the existing building, and we're looking at the area where you're intending to improve, that's gonna clean all that up as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I will have one more question, and it has to do with the parking spaces. You're, well, it's in the waiver here, and we could discuss that, but I might as well mention it now. So, like I always do with every application, I was in the parking lot today. There's piles of stuff in the parking spots that are out front, whether they're plants, whether they're, I don't know, fertilizer, whatever's out there. So those are taking legitimate parking spaces up for people that may want to park in front of the building. So is that all going to go away too?
I'll let him answer, but just to get ahead of it a little bit, some of this outdoor storage right now is seasonal outdoor storage that we actually have submitted in for permits with the municipality and been approved for those exact locations. But going to the cleaning up the site, yes.
Yeah, but my understanding, I did see where the plants are outside, and there's a couple other things within that area. My understanding, the applicant did get approval for that. It was for temporary storage of the plants within the parking lot, so they did go to the township to get approval for that. My understanding is that approval is now expired, and those plants are gonna have to move out of there,
Because
so.
today, there's like 14 spots that were taken up, and prime locations. It's not like we're over there on the side, where, it's over there. Like if you go to I'll just use the Walmart example. The Walmart's all the way on the left side. If you look at our Walmart, where the garden center is, it's not where people would park to go into the building.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, are you saying that the zoning officer approved what is in effect the elimination of parking in favor of outdoor storage of materials?
My understanding is they did get approval for that. I'm not sure if it's from the zoning officer or who approved that, but the store manager did indicate that they submitted for that.
And just to add
I
to
don't
that
know
real
about
quick,
that. I
It would
don't-
be misleading if we were to say to you right now that yes was from the zoning officer or no it was not. We don't have that information. What we can say is that there is procedure in place in this municipality that when you do want to do outdoor storage, you do have to submit for a permit of that, for temporary outdoor storage, I should say. And that's where we were awarded. Whether or not it was actually located on a plan that was reviewed by the zoning officer, that I couldn't comment on.
And I appreciate that. Mr. Chairman, my reaction here is that they got variance relief for parking before, and now somebody, whether it's the zoning officer or somebody else, whomever, is issuing variance relief beyond that to allow for parking spaces to be used for other than parking, and that's not permissible.
Okay, well, you want to go through your part of this?
Yeah.
Okay, is that okay if you could?
And it's not a unique situation, because I see the same thing going on at home.
All right,
Well, let
and-
me ask you to clarify that. Are you wanting as a condition to remove the material from the existing parking spaces, understanding that it eliminates the parking spaces?
Yes, we read as a condition to relocate the outdoor temporary storage and to work with the municipal's engineer for a preferred site location.
Okay, as we have to keep the same parking spaces. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Posada, that was a rather remarkable admission that you represent all the Tractor Supply.
I'm all over New Jersey. I was in Wantage, I was in Gloucester, I was in Raritan, I was in
And the
St. Paul's.
condition that the chairman described, you find to be ubiquitous throughout the entire state of New Jersey and all their locations as far as.
The most recent one,
Yeah.
I neither admit nor deny.
Mr. Chairman, our report is dated June 2nd. Couple of questions, and then we'll get to the meat of it. So we had in our report, the first paragraph, that your client's going to install a freestanding open-air canopy structure. That is not part of this application now?
That's correct, that has been removed from the application.
Okay. How does I guess it's the feed that is stored outside, does that require any protection? Does that require anything from A, the weather, or B, vermin or other animals coming up and using it or eating it?
So the feed is proposed to be stored within the addition, so it will be within a fully enclosed building.
So it is fully, it's not the canopy per se, but it's the fully enclosed building?
Correct.
Okay, got that.
And just to clarify, that fully enclosed building is approximately, what, 2,160 square feet, give or take?
2,160 square feet, yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify. Okay, moving along in our report, couple of questions. I'm just going to follow down page 4, footnote 2. Can you clarify or update where you are with the county application?
Sure, we did, excuse me, we submitted to the county and we did receive approval from the county, I believe it was last week.
Okay, can you submit that to us as a condition of approval?
Yes, we will.
You said there were no changes to the existing landscaping. I don't recall whether you said there were going to be any changes to the existing lighting.
There is no lighting proposed as part of the site
Okay,
improvements.
thank you. No change in the building operations other than what you've described with the drive-through?
That is correct.
Okay. In terms of what relief might be needed, we're on page 5 of our report. Looks like we need, or you need, a variance for signage not in accordance with the standards that are established. This one having to do with the gate sign. Is it not a permitted sign type?
That is correct. Mr. Chairman, I can go through the variances if you want. I know I didn't cover that yet, but I can go through the.
Maybe we can just do it together
Sure.
and then you can put your proofs on
Okay.
after that, make it quicker.
Perfect.
Next, there is a requirement, the note signs, this is very similar, that no sign shall be attached to trees, fence posts, stumps, utility poles, or other signs, but shall be freestanding. Yours is going to be attached to the fence,
Correct.
so that's another variance. This next is on page 7. For the attached sign, you're allowed one unlighted or lighted sign on each principal building facade with at least 200 feet of frontage. You're proposing 2 signs,
That's correct.
and that would be an increase by 1?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And sign area, you're allowed the lower of 10% of the area or wall or 75 square foot. You're at 190 square foot, which is the existing sign, and 24 square foot, which is the proposed sign for 214.
Correct. Total 214 square feet.
Thank you. Next page, page 8. Number of parking stalls, you're required 111. You're making a change to get to 70, so there's a variance required there.
So 70 was the original variance when the site plan was approved back in 2016. We're maintaining 70 parking spaces.
Okay, got it,
So there is no change in the number of parking spaces.
got it. So that's not a new variance, that's the pre-approved condition.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Question on that. The area that they're using right now in the parking for the display of plants and other products, is that incorporated in that number of parking?
Is that, I'm sorry,
Is that part of that 70 that we're talking about?
I'm gonna assume yes,
Yeah, they're taking it, so if you went out there today, there's not 70 spaces out there.
So it's actually less.
I can confirm that, yes.
okay.
And you're going to maintain it that way?
Correct.
Maintain it which way?
Maintain it as a 70 and we'll
And-
comply with
and move
whatever
the-
the original site plan was, yes.
And you're going to remove the area where you sell the plants and the other, I see you have trailers there for sale and other equipment that's stored in areas that were designated for the parking.
They've agreed as a condition to have 70 parking spaces available. I think the back part is a separate issue, where there's.
Yeah,
junk
that's
debris.
different.
Right.
And as we have further
I'm talking-
discussed prior, for the location of the temporary storage, we would work with the township's engineer as to where that goes.
Just a quick question. Because on one of your plans, I saw you had the trailer parking up front there. Close to, is that supposed to be parking spaces, or was that already approved for the trailers for sale?
To my understanding, that is hatched out. That is not within the 70 parking spaces,
Okay,
so
that's
that
what
was
I'm looking
approved
for.
for.
I saw
ground
one of your
storage.
drawings.
Yeah, that has lines that are designated that there's, you can see it's not a parking
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, I don't want to, I know we're still talking about the variances that are needed. I guess we could talk about the drainage concerns under your report.
Sure.
Why don't we finish the variances and then.
That's fine.
So now the bottom of page 8, there is a requirement, no merchandise, products, or similar material or object shall be displayed or stored outside so as to reasonably obstruct pedestrian access on any sidewalk, any use resulting in the storage of vehicles outside shall be enclosed by a fence, wall, or plant material. You indicate that there's no change, and it goes on, but you indicate that there are no changes to the existing previously approved site plan, and that none of the existing previous approved outdoor storage or merchandise display excuse me, will occur on any sidewalk. Can you just confirm that within the context of removing what we just discussed?
Yes, so again, if there are areas of the sidewalk that there's material encroaching onto it, the applicant will remove that from the sidewalk areas. I did take a look at it, and they did have the sidewalk pretty well delineated out there, so when you're walking from the cars into the front of the building, it was delineated. But if there are any areas, we'll make sure that the applicant takes care of that.
Okay. There's a requirement that all buildings be compatibly designed. Do you have an elevation drawing or a photograph of what this proposed addition is going to look like?
I know there is architectural plans submitted to the board. We can present those architectural plans, but it will be in conformance with the existing building.
Do you have those with you tonight? The architecturals?
We do not.
I do not know.
It looks like the existing building, Mr. Chairman, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is generally a stucco or masonry type structure, and the proposed building is a metal corrugated type of, I don't know, metal. I don't know that really can be said to be compatibly designed, and without the architecturals here, it's hard to, I mean, we're looking at a reduced two-color drawing. So I think that remains an open issue.
Turns out I do have the architectural set.
From ours, it's A6.
Thank you.
Stuart, what was the number?
A6. Pretty well towards the end of the plan set.
Thank you.
There we go. Yep. So, majority of the building is, they have the concrete block, being a concrete block. It's also stucco in some areas, and they do have the awnings, which are the metal, they're metal awnings. So the proposed addition is proposed to be metal. There is some existing, I'll call them columns in front of the building that are also metal. So the addition is, although it's not stucco, it's metal, and there is some metal in the existing building. So it's not 100% compatible with the existing structure, but I feel like some of the amenities part of the building, as far as the awning and the pillars in front of the building, are going to match what the proposed addition is.
What is the color of the proposed addition?
would you like me to bring up our design expert so that he can walk you through what the actual
That'd be perfect.
facade will look like? Sure. I'd like to call up Josh Mouse. Josh, why don't you walk me through the credentials that you work for?
So first, my name is Josh Moss. I work for Onyx Creative. I am a design professional, and any of the work that I perform with Tractor Supply is under the supervision of the State of New Jersey licensed architect Michael Crislip.
Great.
Okay.
So Josh, why don't you walk us through what we're proposing from as far as it goes from an architectural standpoint, and more importantly, why don't you walk us through the facade, what the materials are that we're using, what the colors look like, give us the visual.
Okay, so with it being a structure that's just for employee access, it's going to correlate with the existing building in the fact that the sides and the rear of the existing building, they do have a painted metal paneling above the 4-foot high CMU block. So instead of painting it to match the building, which is a shoppable customer area, we plan to leave it as a raw Galvalume colored. It's going to match in materiality to the majority of the sides and the rear of the building. It's just going to be different in color to kind of call attention that it's not a shoppable area.
You said a raw what kind of color?
Like Galvalume,
Right.
it's just so it's going to be the same color that the what we call the doghouse on the front, where the Tractor Supply sign is. It's going to be that color. It's just not going to be as corrugated as that material.
So it's not going to match.
Well, it's going to match in materiality to what's on the side of the existing building, just not in color. If color is something that is an issue, we have painted this in the past with other locations to match the exact colors of the building. And then the roof on the addition is going to match the roof of the existing entry feature, what we call the doghouse.
So to clarify, we have two separate colors, so this way essentially it exemplifies the wayfinding for customer experience and understand that this is not patrons, but rather the employees themselves. That's the reason for the different coloring.
Correct.
However, if this board would want to have a continuity and have it painted the same color as the improvement itself for shopping, that could also be established.
Correct.
In my opinion, I don't know why employees would need a different color as wayfinding for them to get to where they need to go. I will leave it up to the board. In my opinion, my recommendation, I'm not asking that, the requirement is that they should be compatibly designed. It's not saying that they should be the same. So I would leave it up to the board as to what compatible means and whether you think that a similar material with a different color or a similar material with the same color as the main building is the way to go. I'll leave that up to you. Moving along, we talked about no changing in landscaping. And there are a number of performance standards at 175-120 of our ordinance. I think if you could represent that there will be no change in the performance standards from what is there now, that would be sufficient. And if there are any changes, can you go through those, what those changes might be?
Sure, I did review the section 175-120 performance standards, and I can testify that there will be no change in the existing performance standards with the proposed addition.
That is all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, compatible is not compatible the way that I see it either. I don't know how anybody else feels about the building.
Well, without a color swatch, it's kind of like, what color is the addition? Is it a different shade of gray, or is it? Or is it blue? You know, I mean.
I agree. He's gonna clarify exactly what color it is based on shape.
So if you've been to the Tractor Supply and you've seen like just the main entrance, it's just the raw metal. Like it's, you know,
What's the color of the raw metal?
it's what we call it galvalume.
But a layperson, is it gray, is it white, is it blue?
It's kind of like a silvery tone.
Okay.
And so we propose that the feed center would be the entire, it would all be the silvery tone. Like I said, that we have in the past, we have painted it to match the existing building. So if that, it would be Sanderling and Urban Putty.
And what is that like?
It's two different tones of beige. Like
I'm with you guys.
this is kind of a very similar shade to one of them. I believe the Urban Putty is more of this shade, where the Sanderling that's on the base of the building is more of a brown or like a coffee mocha like type color.
So sort of like the ceiling?
No.
Sort of like bench, brown, mocha.
Yeah, maybe not as dark. Almost actually really like the color of his the brown that's in his
Tweed.
his jacket. So. Yeah, kind of like the baseboard.
So would it be fair to say that we could either have it consistent with the silver approach, or we can change it to the more pink approach that we have right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one.
Capturing all those colors.
So, I mean, the picture we have of the side of the building, is that what color we're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Stuart, you're concerned about whether or not the addition they're putting is compatible is, I mean, we're not asking them to build a building because it's really a storage shed, correct?
I don't have the color, we don't have that color piece.
It's in
Two in one packet here, you
the
want?
photo exhibit?
We don't
Oh, you don't have
we
that?
don't have it with us.
Taken from Ralph.
Yeah.
So,
Because they have the silver throughout.
so what you're showing here is, looks like beigey metal panels with a red stripe cutting through,
Correct.
horizontal red stripe.
Correct. That's how the existing building currently is.
And what would the proposed building look like?
If there's a front elevation in there, it would be more of the color that matches where the Tractor Supply sign sits, but it would not be the same corrugation of the metal. The material would be more aligned with the other image of how corrugated the metal will be.
Okay, but it would be that more of a grayish
Correct.
type of color with the same horizontal band?
We typically don't put that on our feed centers, but we have in some jurisdictions. So if that would be required, we could add that as well.
Do you guys, have you, given the conversation, have you captured what we're talking about?
Yeah, I have.
So there's no concrete walls on the addition? Like,
No.
you're not putting a kick wall all the way around?
Correct.
You trust the guys with the forklift, I guess?
There will be bollards at the corners, and typically they do.
So the metal material, is it a commonly sourced, is it like an A.B. Martin sourced
Yeah,
metal?
it's just a corrugated panel.
So, I mean, why would you go with a different color and just not go with putty like the rest of the building? In my opinion, just my opinion. But then again, my whole house is off-white.
Yeah,
My
typically,
life's off-white, so, you know.
again, it's just to kind of denote that it's not a shoppable area. If it kind of looks a little bit different from the main building, customers aren't going to
So how do you get in, how does the employees get into that? From inside the store or from outside?
There's only access from outside.
And only the employees can get, I don't know, I'm not following you on the delineation, to be honest with you. But that's, you know.
So if you've got a fence that has to be opened to allow people in, is that what we heard?
Yes, the fence will have to be open for cars to come through, but there is an existing side lot door where customers could go out to shop for items that are in the fenced-in area.
But they can only do that from inside the store.
Correct.
So I don't see the need to delineate it. The fence is gonna delineate it. You're gonna have, the fence is gonna delineate it, and anybody who's gonna go there that isn't driving is gonna go through the store to begin with.
Correct. Like I said, we can paint it. It's just the design that Tractor has done with all, other states. We've used the metal panels and not painted, but like I said, we have had stores that we painted and painted the red stripe and everything, so.
I would rather see it match.
Yeah, I mean, painting it, then it becomes a maintenance issue every so many years. But you could buy that steel from A.B. Martin in putty. The color that's on that steel on the side of your building probably came from the same manufacturer. So I don't know about painting it, I would just get the right color from the get-go. My personal opinion, this is just, what I think, because I think what you're going to build is going to look like a hodgepodge. Excuse my language there, but is that a language thing? I don't know. But so I just think matching would be more consistent with what the building is.
I believe that if this board were to find any affirmative for this application, we would accept a condition of approval to ensure that the color-scape is consistent with the existing building, and we would work with your engineer to confirm same.
Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I am. I agree with the problem with painting. I'm sitting here looking at the pictures of the existing facility, and between the bollards and the fence, there's an awful lot of rust where those elements have not been maintained. I would not want to rely on painted materials that would have to be refreshed every couple of years, and if that can be purchased in the desirable color, that would be preferable.
I'd be acceptable first and try that route. And only if it's not produced, then we have to do the alternative painting.
Sure.
However, if it is, and the gentleman is opined with them, sure he's right, absolutely correct.
Well, this whole project is to clean up the site, because,
It is
I
a
mean,
painting part of it.
so, like what you're saying, there's certain things that aren't maintained, like, so when I went out there, it's, needs help, to put it mildly, but you're doing that, okay. All right, well, I'm good with that if that's okay.
If that's what the board decides, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And are you done?
I am done. I will now defer to my learned colleague.
Okay. And you know how to speak up, right?
Did we want to let the applicant address the variances?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. So for the variances, we're looking these as C2 flex variances, which require us to look at both the positive and the negative criteria. As far as the positive criteria, we must show that either there is an undue hardship or practical burden in strictly complying with the requirements of the code, or under the C2 flex, proposed conditions would advance the purposes of the zoning and that the benefits would outweigh the detriments and be a preferable alternative. As far as the negative, we must show that the variance can be granted and would not cause substantial detriment to the public good, and that the granting of the variance would not substantially impair the intent and purpose of the zoning ordinance and master plan. So with the variances, we talked about, we're looking at the signage that's proposed along the new gate and the new building. And with the signage, obviously, it's going to improve circulation to the fenced-in area. It's going to help with circulation. It's going to help with the customers coming to the site and understanding where they need to go in order to access the site. So I feel that, from a positive, the positive outweighs the detriments, and with the signage, it's going to be a preferable alternative not having the signage. As far as the negative, I feel that there's no substantial detriment to the public good, and that the granting of the variance would not substantially impair the intent and purpose of the zoning ordinance or the master plan. As far as promoting the special purposes, I feel like the improvements proposed in the variance will, get to my page, promote special purposes A and special purpose I.
Questions?
Can you address the negative criteria, please?
Sure. With the negative criteria, I did look at the master plan. I don't feel that there's any substantial impairment to the master plan or there's any negative with the proposed signage for the project, and therefore it's not a negative impairment to the site or the zoning ordinance or the master plan.
Okay. James?
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Seeing that they're proposing the addition on existing impervious, I don't see any reason for additional stormwater improvements for this project. I am not aware if there's any stormwater issues currently. I'm not sure if you are, Mr. Taylor. Maybe you can.
There's actually 2 basins on the property, in addition to a couple swales that do convey the stormwater. Those are adequately sized for the existing site, and because we're not adding any additional impervious, there's no need to expand those existing basins, and there's no negative impact on the drainage on the site currently.
I'm assuming they have a certificate of filing?
Yes, yes, they are. They do.
So that the stormwater management regulations that were in effect at the time of the initial approval will not be materially changed?
Correct.
Because of the upgrade now?
That's correct. It was previously approved whenever they applied years ago. And like I said, they're proposing it on existing impervious material already, so it doesn't trigger any additional stormwater management.
We did submit to the Pinelands, and we did receive an exemption letter dated February 3rd, 2026. I can obviously provide that to the board planner and the engineer as part of the approval process.
Please, for the record.
Looking at the site plan from CME, I do not see those bollards at the building corners. However, it's on the architecturals. I just wanted to make sure we got that there as well.
We will make sure that we include those, and obviously with any bonded improvements, we'll make sure that that's on the bond estimate to be provided to the township.
Thank you. And one last thing, and this is more of an operational question, but how will the rolling gates be managed? If it's going to be locked, who's going to have access? Maybe please expand on that.
Sure, so those gates will be locked. They are motorized, so the employees of the store will have access to the motor. Obviously, it will not be open to the public, and the employees will be the only ones that can utilize those gates.
Thank you. I don't
So
have anything
the
further.
customer will be able to freely go through that gate and go to the back of it, and it'll be cleaned up in the back, right? You're assuring me that it's going to be cleaned up in the back so that there's free circulation back there, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And you addressed the parking already.
I have no further engineering comments. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions for our engineer or planner? Anyone from the public wishing to be heard? Seeing no one, we'll close that portion. Any additional questions in general?
Chairman, I'll need a motion to approve the minor site plan for block 4602, lot 9, with the following variances. One, sign type not permitted. Sign type not permitted because it's attached to a gate or fence. The quantity of attached signs, I think we're talking 2 instead of 1, and the maximum area of attached signs. There are the 4 variances. It would all be on the following conditions. Primarily or mainly cleaning up the back parking area and making sure it's consistent with the previously approved plan. The parking spaces that now contain storage material the material will be removed so that there is 70 full parking spaces, and any material will be removed from the sidewalks. The waiver obtained from the county will be supplied to ARH. And finally, the color. The applicant will attempt to purchase metal panels for the addition to match in color with the existing building, and if not, we'll paint the metal panels consistent with the existing building with the red stripe. I need such a motion.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Mr. Matro, any questions? We have a roll call, please.
Ralph Capaccio,
I abstain due to the fact that I am employed by the Artheon engineering firm.
James Matro,
Yes.
Mickey Pollia.
Yes.
Ray Schipione.
Yes?
Ed Willerman,
Yes.
Philip Barbagallo,
Yes.
Jesse Childs.
Yes.
Chairman Oliva.
Yes, motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate your time.
We'll get to that by pay stubs, you know?
Soccer game on.
Oh, really?
Soccer game.
I don't know.
That's more important. USA, soccer, you know?
right.
I never got into, I know you
Probably
were
start now.
engineering.
I gotta get into
Philly's
it.
got 180 games, you know.
Well, we're at the All-Star break.
I did for 32 years. I
Stage
became a consultant.
2, by the way.
In, they,
Oh, no, Philly, see?
they, good.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I think
we
two
have,
nights
we
ago
do
was
have
fluke.
one resolution. James and Annalise Jackson, 801 7th Street, Hammonton, block 1601, lot 52. Applicant was approved for a curb and sidewalk waiver in the AP zone.
Motion.
Mr. Pollia,
Second.
Mr. Matro, Mr. Capaccio. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Ralph Capaccio,
Yes.
James Matro,
Yes.
Mickey Pollia.
Yes.
Ray Schipione,
Yes.
Ed Willerman,
Yes.
Philip Barbagallo,
Yes.
Jesse Childs.
Yes.
Chairman Oliva.
Yes, motion carried. Anything for the good of the order? Busy couple days here, obviously with the 4th of July celebration in the town. I wish everybody a safe holiday. And we have our festival week with the 16th of July and that parade and Sons of Italy, and I'll give them a plug.
God bless America.
Yeah, there you go. God bless America. And our next meeting is no meeting that week, so we don't meet until August 5th, okay? Thank you, everyone. Have a safe holiday.
Thank you.
Like,